Welcome to the T-Pac Arcade. Today's game is Zero Wing for the Sega Mega Drive. In this 1991 shoot-'em-up from Toaplan, it's the year 2101, and an evil android is taking control of the United Nations space settlements. A situation that would sound a lot more dire if the android's name wasn't Cats. Meow. We're greeted with this plot development in one of video game history's most poorly translated opening cutscenes, featuring hilariously bad lines such as, "Somebody set up us the bomb," "All your base are belong to us," "What you say," and of course, "You know what you doing," for great justice. And fortunately, I do know what I'm doing, because Zero Wing is a pretty straightforward shooter. Collect power-ups, dodge hazards, and blast your way through 8 stages, all of which fall under the Alien Space Station school of shoot-'em-up design, plus the occasional intergalactic forest and cavern for good measure. And I particularly like how heavily the levels lean into navigating narrow passages and strategically picking off enemy craft around corners, instead of just bombarding you with alien swarms in an open field all the time. Mind you, there's still a bit of both here, but Zero Wing strikes a good balance with it. Just like how sugar-loaded cereal is technically part of a balanced breakfast as long as you eat a banana with it. The fun here is also balanced with plenty of great boss fights. I consider it a mark of good design when all the encounters are so exciting you can't tell the difference between a mid-boss and an end-boss. Like when I fought that cool blue laser machine that circled a bunch of metal pinwheels in and out of its chutes as a revolving shield. Once I blew it up and the stage just kept scrolling, I was like, wait, that's not even the main event? Nope, Zero Wing tends to work like those infomercials that convince you to buy something stupid with the allure of, but wait, there's more. That applies to the general power-up progression too. First, you encounter red capsules that equip you with firing satellite options from above and below. Then blue capsules change your shot to a laser beam, and finally, green capsules engage your almighty homing missiles. The developers obviously knew the green homing missiles were the best weapon by far, because they always make sure to offer it last. Just like Mom making sure you finish that banana before diving into your bowl of delicious, teeth-rotting, sugary cereal. And what's more, collecting the same power-up multiple times increases your firepower and the size of your satellites. There's even a bonus item that scales the satellites to be even bigger than your ship itself, which is extra awesome because they can act as battering rams to absorb shots and take out enemies from above and below. As neat as that is, the most novel aspect of Zero Wing is actually the tractor beam that lets you grab hold of an enemy ship and use it as a shield, or just throw it back at another bad guy. It's like fighting fire with fire, except you're obliterating aliens with the shells of their comrades. Try not to think of it like a war crime, because it's a lot of fun. Unfortunately, it's not particularly well integrated in the game, to the point that it's hardly necessary and even a bit unwieldy in practice. And holding large enemies even weighs your ship down so it's hard to fly. That being said, the tractor beam did save my butt on that purple orb boss when it flooded the screen with spiky floating death pods. It was a pretty terrifying sight to behold, but still really cool. And that goes for the whole game. Aside from a few flat-looking graphics here and there, the overall alien cyberpunk visuals are fantastic. The game artists also went above and beyond with the animations and effects too. I love the rainbow damage flashing of the large enemies, and how even simple boxy laser machines are always moving. It does kinda look like they're shivering though. Can someone please get this poor robot a sweater? It's cold out here in the abyss of space. I don't have much to say about the sound design, but the music is fun, and I like how the audio effects are a bit lower and less shrill than most Mega Drive games. Except for the tractor beam. That thing sounds like a car alarm, and makes me want to avoid using it just to keep from getting a headache. The difficulty of Zero Wing can ramp up pretty drastically over the course of the game. Thanks to unlimited continues and frequent checkpoints, I got through the first 3/4 of it on my own merit. But I needed save states once it started throwing bullet spore cyclops plants and missile-launching robot hamburgers at me. Also, you have to play through the game 3 times to see all the endings. The second is pretty standard with a credit roll, but the first and third feature cutscenes of this, thing. You might think the scariest part of Zero Wing is the end boss that shoots 3-eyed electric skulls at you, but you don't know true horror until you've witnessed synchronized dancing eggplant creatures in tennis shoes. Not to mention the one that winks at you, proceeds to stand completely still while staring into your soul for a few seconds, then fading eerily into the darkness. I'm gonna have nightmares, and it's all Toaplan's fault. Apparently there are like 30-something extra endings in the Japanese release of Zero Wing, where the evil android Cats just spouts random nonsense. But luckily, I've got a European copy, which stops at just 3. My favorite part of this game is the Stage 6 tunneling sections, where you've got to strategically follow these insect robots who clear a path for you to advance. And if I could change one thing here, I'd fix some of those glitches I encountered in the second 2 loops. I'm not very savvy on how video games work, so maybe I caused things to bug out from messing with save states or whatever, but I kept running into a problem where the next enemy that was supposed to load onto the playfield would appear directly in front of my ship instead, as if it was stuck in my tractor beam. And if it was an enemy with a gun, that just meant getting killed instantly. But on the bright side, restarting from an earlier checkpoint usually fixed things. Overall, Zero Wing really impressed me. I basically just got this game to laugh at the cutscene translations, so I was pretty stoked to find that it was fantastic to play too. All your base are belong to us, and all your fun are from Play Zero Wing.